What's going on, everybody? It's Top Bets. We're checking back in. We got our Memorial Tournament on the dot. PGA live stream coming at you guys here on this beautiful Tuesday evening as we will recap last week at the RBC Canadian Open. It was another blah tournament. Didn't another crazy long shot outright. Not crazy, but I mean you're 7,000, 8,000 plus. So just another typical PGA outright that It was either Scotty or a long shot. So, but we appreciate you guys tuning back in. It is the Memorial Tournament this week. We got my man Teaser back with me, aka Bet with the Boys. So we are excited to get after it once again. We'll be here for about 30 minutes or so, breaking down what we think is the most important stuff, stats, the DFS strategies here for the Memorial Tournament here right before next week with another major of the U.S. Open. So how are we feeling tonight, Teaser?
Yeah, good. Hopefully, I mean, both of us can kind of get back on track. It's been a couple. I was close to really just breaking even last week. Top 20s, man. I can't. I think I might just have to kind of call it wraps on those. I can't hit one to save my life right now. Tournament matchups are still going good, but yeah, another long shot. McIntyre kind of really came out of nowhere. Decent course fit, kind of looking back at it, but I mean, not enough for me to, place any money on him. I thought Rory was going to do it, had him one and done, but of course not. Couldn't do anything or really catch McIntyre because he kind of ran away with it. But yeah, just kind of another playing week. Hopefully this week will be more predictable for us. I know we have certain guys that should play well here in years past, so hopefully we can kind of get it outright and get some placements.
Would agree with that. So if this is your first time tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like button on YouTube. And if you're on X, make sure you hit that repost. And if you're here watching live, we'd love to hear from you guys. Throw a comment. Just say what's up. We'd appreciate it. We go as long as basically your questions go. It'll kind of direct the show if you may. So we'll get after the Memorial Tournament. But yeah, has anybody been playing any golf? You been playing any golf this year?
Yeah, I've been out almost every week, man. So
have you? Okay.
Yeah.
I got out for like the fourth or fifth time on Friday. I played in a scramble. How you been shooting?
I've been all right. I think right now I'm more high 70s right now. So we're trying to get back down, mid. Did a couple scrambles as well, So it's just fun getting out there, man. Just gonna try to grind at it all summer here. So
are you the ringer in the scrambles?
Well, I haven't done any 4-man. I just did a 2-man. But yeah,
that's when you're really good at golf. You just do 2-man scrambles.
Yeah, we did a couple of those, but yeah.
Damn. Yeah, we got first and B flat in ours, so we're the first losers. It was
would you go to?
Just there's a local course, just like we just went like -9.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah,
wasn't terrible, but it was good. It's always nice to get out and scramble, but you don't get any better when you scramble in my eyes.
You weren't
with a 4-man.
You weren't one of those guys who went 28 under.
No,
yeah, the winners 20. Yeah,
they always on Twitter. Yeah,
shot a 48. Yeah.
No, I got this dang hook off the tee. I feel like one of these guys just couldn't hit the fairway to save my life. But, but the putting and the chipping, that was my go-to this past week. So
that's good, man. Short game.
Yeah, always nice. Let us know in the comments if you guys have been golfing this season, how you guys been doing, what do you guys need to work on, all types of stuff. Teaser, I'm sure, could give some good tips. Me, no. I probably would tell you how to do even worse. So all right, so let's get into the Memorial Tournament. We got a stacked field right before another major of the season. So Scotty then leads it off here. Obviously, it's to play Scotty or not play him in DK for DFS. And if you've been around me, you're more than likely going to be losing money because I'm typically fading Scotty. If you're playing round by round showdowns, you could probably play him a little bit more. But just his ownership and price has just been really, really tough. It actually went down 12.5. So it's not terrible this week. So I think a lot more people will gravitate towards him. And what me and teaser we're talking about earlier is more likely he's going to be in it. You know, that he's just going to be 5, 10. I mean, it's just a given at this point. If he doesn't start off well, he's just going to, you know, roar up the leaderboard, and then, you know, if he stays up there to get, you know, or if he goes off on the first round, he usually stays. So I mean, it's a Tiger Woods run, and it's pretty crazy right now to witness. So shout out to Scotty. He's been basically killing it all year. What do you think about him this week?
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, I do want to add something. We're blacklisting players this year, which is not a good betting strategy. But I will say, one person, man, on that list right now is Adam Hadwin. I know you were on him last week. I watched both rounds because I was following closely, and that was the most frustrating. Got the tournament matchup luckily in it, but that was the most frustrating miscut I've ever been a part of betting wise. It was just insane. He was missing fairways with irons and stuff like that. So I just had to put that out there. I'm creating a list of players I don't know if I'm going to go back to. So, but no, I think with Scheffler, like you said, I mean, this is the courses he's won at this year are been signature fields. I mean, besides RBC where he did go low, this is kind of a field in a tournament where I think he could potentially run away with it and just absolutely annihilate people with strokes gained this week. Because I think the winners are going to be around 8 to 12. So it's pretty low. The renovations they've done here, it's going to play hard, I believe, with the long penal rough here. You got to hit fairways. So this is a course where Scheffler can win by 5 strokes just because he's so good tee to green. So I think he could run away with this potentially. So yeah, it's not a bold take or anything. We've seen it before. So it's just, I have a feeling I think he's going to win again. But
so, I mean, is plus 360 probably the best number we're going to get pre-tournament? Or do you think, I think we'll see a higher one, but that's just me.
It's hard. He'll be down 8 strokes and be 3-1. It's insane.
Yeah. It's if the books go any higher, they're just going to get hammered. But sometimes you can get a little trapped there. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Scotty. I mean, I just, I don't know. I just don't see much value with it all. Yeah. But, I mean, second on the list here, we got Xander off his first win coming back on. What do you think about Xander this week?
Yeah, he intrigued me for one and done. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to play the outright, maybe a tournament matchup if I can get a good one against him. But, I mean, just to go over a little of the course, too, just to tie it in with these guys is really these top guys are good at, you got to play from the fairway here. We've seen it last year when Hovland won. He was precise off the tee. Around the greens you'll need. It's hard to hold a lot of these greens. So really that's the 2 key things. You got elite players that kind of are good from tee to green. And then really par 5 scoring is huge here. You got to get all 4 of the par 5s. That's really the only holes that play under par. So you have to get at least 3 of those each round or maybe even more. And then, we kind of talked about them already, but top 10 course history, talked about Scheffler, Xander, Billy Horschel, Homa, Fitzpatrick, who we'll kind of talk about in a little bit, and then McCarthy, who saw a second here last year, and then the one guy I'm going to highlight, which we'll probably get to in a little bit, is Cantley. So, yeah.
That's when it's an awesome stream, and we're gonna go out and say Patrick goddamn Cantley,
It's just a auto play here. It really is. We'll go to him right now. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think it's gonna be a favorite this week. If it's not Scheffler, it's gonna be one of the favorites. We're not seeing a long shot. I do have one long shot, which is an insane long shot this week, but we'll get to him.
Nice little plug.
It's not. It shouldn't be a long shot. I think you'll know who I'm talking about if you just scroll down the list. It should not be that long of a number, but really just with Cantley, 7 career appearances, no worse than a 30th, 4 top 5s and 2 wins. I was on him in 21 here with an outright win. I mean, he loves this place. He's that guy. We see him at RBC Heritage play well there. He has a few courses he loves and comes back to every year where he just feels good. And then bent grass greens, he's always great at putting on bent grass. So he's always a lock for me at this type of course.
I gotcha. And I was going to take Xander top 10. If you guys have tuned in, I've taken him on a lot this year. He's minus 110, so I'll probably wait for a live one, a better number there. But yeah, because I'm not going to take a minus 110 for a top 10. But like that one. And then what do you think about Rory? Has recently divorced, rumors swirling with was it Amanda from
Yeah.
CBS? Yeah. What's her last name?
I think Balionis, right?
Yeah, there
Or
you go.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
With the rumors swirling, what do you think on Rory this week?
I mean, I was on him last week just for one and done. It wasn't any betting purposes, but I don't know. A problem with him is his round twos. If you've seen him in round two, I don't think he shot he shot a 74 in round two. So that's kind of hurting his chances of actually winning these tournaments and running away with them. But yeah, I don't mind him this week. He's playing great golf. If he keeps up the ball striking, he's obviously going to be in contention as well. Just kind of a matter if he puts it together. I think with him, you can kind of wait on a live line because he usually comes from behind in the pack. He doesn't usually kind of run away with it from the get-go. So I think you can kind of get him on a Saturday, Sunday around like maybe 18-1 or something like that. So
What did he get 7th here last year? And then
yeah, I think he plays pretty well here.
18th, 32nd, miscut, 8, and then a 4. I mean, he's just solid as can be here. So I mean, not terrible. 9-1. I wouldn't. I mean, if top 10 minus 105, probably something I'd stay away from. Probably Xander and Rory, unless you take their outright. Maybe take a live top 10 if you can get a plus number there. But can't go wrong with those top 3. Scotty, Xander, and Rory, probably the 3 best golfers on the tour this season. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
You got Morikawa, Hovland, and Cantlay next. So you've already touched on Cantlay is probably your go-to this week.
Yep. 25 is way better than the 14 and 16 you're seeing on. Like I know you like Morikawa. I don't mind him this week. I'm just not getting on a 14-1 ever.
I hate it. I don't want to play him.
There's no point because he's going to probably – I mean, sometimes he starts hot, but it's like you're going to get him probably at a better number than that eventually. And he's just not been closing lately. I don't really like him on a Sunday. It's just the putter, man. It's just not where it needs to be in crunch time. So I don't trust him to put any more money on him outright. So
yeah, I think I'm going to sprinkle his first round leader because he can come out hot again.
Mm-hmm.
But the only bet I'm probably he's gonna make my card is top 10 plus 130. I think that's the only one. 14-1 is just I don't want to take Colin there at 14-1. Just not a great number. But I'll take his top 10. You got Hovland or Hovland. I can't ever figure out which way to say it, but he's 16-1. Basically, he went back to his old caddy, right? And that's a swing coach or something like that, where he started playing well. But obviously before that, everyone knew that he was playing very, very shady golf. And now he's 16-1 at a signature event with a loaded field. I don't want to be a part
last year too.
That he won last year. That's what everyone's kind of banking on. But man, if he's not scoring those par fives, I just don't think he's going to be up there. I think he's got potential to miss the cut. Just the way his recent form has been. Besides that top 5 finish at the PGA, just someone I'm probably going to fade. In my rule of thumb is if I can find a way to be off somebody, I'm going to be off somebody, and Victor's given me every reason not to trust him.
Yep, I agree with that.
All right, we talked on Cantlay. What about Ludwig, Fleetwood, or JT? What do you think about them?
I saw a lot of people on JT so far this week.
30.
I mean, these guys too.
Crazy number.
Yeah, 30. I just don't like, once again, another guy. He has played well here before. I know he kind of fits this type of, I guess, he's played decent here, actually. The problem with him is off the tee. It's just like he gets himself in trouble a lot. It's like if he's not going well with the driver at this type of course, you're going to have to, out of that rough, I mean, there's going to be a lot of layups into par 4s or punch outs. So, yeah, with him, I just don't trust him to get there on it. I guess Aubert, I guess this is his first time playing. I probably would stay away from him as well. And then Fleetwood, never would take an outright on him. I don't know what people still love going to the well there, but yeah, with him, I don't mind him placement-wise, but definitely not outright.
Man, I was on his top 10 last week, and he burned the shit out of me.
Yeah, he was playing well too, and he just
round 4 was so sad. Him and Aaron Rye. But I'm debating going back to him, and I'm debating going back to another top 10. But I don't think he's going to win. I think he's got good enough ball striking, good enough tee to green, strokes gained tee to green that he's definitely in play for me. Is Fleetwood. JT, man, for all those JT backers, good. Congrats, you guys are loyal as shit.
I used to be one of those guys, but I learned my lesson.
Yeah, I've just gotten burned, and it's just like you go to them over and over again. You're just like, no, you're not fooling me again. There's no way, not gonna happen.
He has, I will say, he has last 3 starts, a 5th, a 21st, and an 8th. Obviously, I wouldn't take an outright, but maybe a placement or like I don't think he plays bad. I just don't think he can get the job done this week. He has been showing better form. Approach has been there. Around the greens, obviously, he's still there, and then off the tee, he's been good as well. So it's, I mean, yeah, there's good signs. So you know, I don't mind him. I don't think he plays bad or misses a cut, but I just don't trust him to pull it out.
Right. All right, the next one, I think these 3 are very, very in play here, is Homa, Matsuyama, and Burns. I talked about Burns last week, and I wish I would have put him on there, put him on my card, but he just didn't make it. Hideki is definitely going to be on my card. It's either I mean, he might be top 20 in an outright or top 10 in an outright. I think Hideki's got pretty good chance this week. And then Homa's kind of like my new JT, how everyone would go on him.
Yeah,
I just always gravitate towards Homa. I don't know why, but 40-1 on a good number, I think. I
can't tell whether I should look too deep into the Charles Schwab where he went 9 over and missed the cut. I don't know.
That was on him. I was on him that week too. So
I don't know if that's like fluke or like a 1 week thing, or it's trending towards I'm a little nervous of where his game is off the tee. That's been the thing with him this year, is the driver, or really anything off the tee. He hasn't had that little, patent and fade he's been having the past couple of years. It's been kind of erratic. So at this course, I'm going to stay away. I know he's pretty good in, tough conditions, tough courses, but the off the tee kind of scares me away from him. So I'm just being devil's advocate and trying to stay off as many guys as I can, because you can't. But
yeah, I mean, I guess he didn't play her last year, but 22 and 21 top 10 finishes. I think he's got a pretty good chance this week as well. So
yeah, I think it's like I like him, but it's like there's more risk with Homa this year than there was the past couple of years. You can't. It's just like you got to be careful,
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's go down a little bit more. We got Thigala, Henley, Finau, and Sungjae. Any of those stand out for you?
Sungjae's been playing some good golf, I'll say. Yeah,
he's rebounding. He's definitely rebounding from his abysmal start.
I guess a pretty good fit. Let me see how Henley plays here. He kind of he's only played twice less. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Henley. I could see Henley being a sneaky placement. Obviously not winning, but yeah, I think I like Henley. Thigala, I think another guy. I think I want to stay away from. Recent form last week at RBC, he was absolutely atrocious, I think, off the tee. I know he missed the cut. Let me just double check that. They're just kind of looking at recent form as well. Yeah, off the tee, he actually did decent. It was his putting, approach, and around the green. So everything except off the tee. So yeah, that was a bad week for him. I think that's more maybe of a fluke. Yeah, I don't know about him off the tee here. What do you think about Finau? Do you like him this week?
I just have not gotten to Finau whatsoever.
I can't trust that guy. I mean, he putts like an idiot. Like,
yeah,
the way he holds his putter, like, it's just I don't like being on him.
Yeah, and I like Henley. I think out of that group, Henley's my favorite. He's 45-1, and if you switch over to you're looking at top 20s, you got him at plus 125.
Yeah.
When Homa is plus 4,000, and you have him at plus 130. So I think he's got a lot more love in the betting market there.
Yeah.
And I think for good measure, he's been playing solid golf, and I've been on him, I'd say every other week or so, and I think this is another good spot to get back on, maybe a top 20 for Russell there, and play him pretty heavily in DFS. As he's a pretty good. I think he's 8,000, so he's going to be a little bit more chalk than he normally would, but I think it's a good salary saver there to pay up for maybe another big guy up top. And if you go Morikawa at 9,800, to go to Henley at 8, and you got Hideki at 9. I think that's a pretty good balanced lineup approach right there. So pretty good start there with the 3. As we go more towards the 5,000, 6,000 range, anybody stick out to you there? You got Fitzpatrick, Spieth,
for sure.
Siwoo, Benny Hahn, and Noren.
For sure, Fitzpatrick. Talked about him a little bit with you before. It's just, that's probably the most risk you can get with more of close to elite guy. I don't know, man. He's missed the cut at PGA, 52nd at Wells Fargo, 22nd at Masters. He has some good finishes and some really bad finishes this year. I kind of like the fit. The off the tee, once again, scares me. I've been on him when he's been horrible off the tee. It's just not fun to just back him when he's not finding it off the tee. But there's something about him this week. I think the grind of the course. He does play well on par 5s. That's one thing. He's very good at par 5 scoring. That's kind of what intrigues me about him this week. If he can kind of get the par 5s and just kind of manage on the other parts of the course, I like him as well, just for a placement. I don't know if 50 to 1, I also do like the number, so I think I probably would sprinkle an outright on that as well. Then another guy, this is hilarious to me, Wyndham Clark, 55 to 1. I
literally was just looking at him and just going to say how the mighty have fallen.
It's hilarious. He seems like a good guy. It's just it was just way too much. Like, everyone was hyping him up.
Then he was talking smack on the live guys.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 majors, he's missed both cuts. And it's like, man, don't piss the golf gods off. Just don't do it.
I'm not a big fan of I don't know. I wouldn't touch him this week as well. We're kind of getting
I think the one thing with Clark is his par 5 scoring. Like, he usually killed those, with his length, and he should be able to, with his, putting and everything. But man, he's just so bad this year at par 5s. And in that range, I'm probably going to go back to Tom Kim and Corey Connors once again, because I think Tom Kim is playing phenomenal golf. And
he is,
he kept climbing the leaderboard. Same with Connors last week. I was both on him for top 20s. I wish I was on him for top 10s, but I think I might go back to the well there with top 20s with a little bit more stacked field here. But 55 to 1 isn't terrible if someone wants to sprinkle that one for sure. But those two have always had my eye there, and Kim and Connors, I'll probably go back to them again. How about your boy Cam Young, 60 to 1? Guys, just don't do it. Anybody watching last week, watching the replay, don't do it. Don't do it.
Took Fleetwood over him last week. I'm off of him. There's going to be a week where he's going to get a second place. It could be this week. It's just like there's no stats to back it up, nothing. Like, he's playing horrible golf. I was on him at PGA, played the worst I've ever seen him play. Last week, he was horrendous again. He's coming in bad form. Wouldn't touch him anywhere. Maybe fade him tournament matchup-wise, maybe round matchups. But now we're getting to the kind of the long shot area. I wanted to pick out.
No. These are the winners. Now we get to the part of the show where we discuss the winners. Everything for the last 25 minutes was absolute bullshit, and everyone knows it. And now these are, if you're at 8,000 plus, these are the winners. So let's talk about the winners now.
I can't. This guy, you can just tell me. You look at the thing and tell me who I'm gonna say in the 70 to 80 range.
Is it Willie Z?
Yeah,
I knew it.
75 to 1 is insane.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, that is insane. Obviously, I don't know. I would sprinkle an outright just because maybe I'm a little biased, but I'm taking the top 20. It's like plus 230. I know he's coming off the injury. He hasn't been great at all. PGA Championship, 43rd, 60th at Wells Fargo. 44th at RBC. I don't know. it's tough to back him, and I get the reason
Yeah.
why the number's there because he's been bad. It's just I think it's one of those weeks where he's had a couple weeks off, hasn't played since PGA Championship. That's 2 weeks off now. Had time to regroup, rest the back a little bit. This course fits him to a T, I would say. Ball striking came in first time he played here, tied fifth. It's going to be a grinded out type course. That's what we like to see with him. So yeah, I mean, I like him. Kind of negates the putting around here too. You can't. I mean, it's not going to be that negative that he's not a great putter. So I like him. That's probably one of my favorite on the long shots. And then what do you think? I was going to talk about Denny McCarthy. Do you have any feeling about him?
Wow, you're on Denny? Oh boy.
Yeah.
I like Denny. He's always intriguing to me because he's such a good short game player. And he keeps the ball in the fairway, and that's where if you're here, I think that's where you got to live.
Yep.
So I think Denny's in play for sure. Horschel plays good here. I think this range right here is pretty good.
I like it. Yeah.
I think Bezzy's in play. I think Harmon's in play, sadly, because he's just an absolute walking rain delay.
Yeah.
And then you got, if you go down farther, Lucas Glover is in play again. I think Eckroat and Dietrich are in play. What 100 to 1 odds there. So if you
even
want to
Jaeger too, honestly, the way he plays
Jaeger,
par fives, drives the ball usually well. So that's another guy. Came in 24th here. I think his first appearance last year.
Yeah, Horschel's third in the field with strokes gained on par fives, so that's good. Benny Hahn as another guy that, and then Dietrich is top 10. Willie Z's up there, probably top 12. So if you're looking at par five scoring to be a little dictator, you got Jaeger up there as well. So
yeah, that's going to be a huge thing. The par five, they're going to probably talk about that Sunday. What he's done on the guy in the lead, what he's done on par fives. It's going to be like 9 under, 1 over on the rest of the course, something like that. So that's going to be the massive key, I think, this week in the bogey avoidance. So that's one thing I would key on if you guys make your own models. Anyone watching, just kind of key up on par five scoring. That's kind of where they're going to be gaining the most this week. So,
yeah, and I probably wouldn't go any lower than that. I think.
I wouldn't either.
Batia started off well last week, but then faded. If you wanted to go back to the well there, Davis Thompson's up there, Justin Rose a little bit. And then you got, I talked about Eckroat. So I think that's probably a good spot to stop with the outrights.
Yeah.
You got any tournament matchups you're looking at to finish up the show?
Yeah, let me see a couple here. I really like Cantley over Aubert, just because it's more of not really a fade of Aubert. It's just more of Cantley. I love here minus 110s. I'll definitely take that value on him.
I think Corey Connors minus 130 over Clark is no brainer. It's a little more juicy, but hell, I think it's a very, very good one.
Yeah, I think just because the juice is what is like, but I still like it.
Damn, Henley's minus 140 over Homo. Damn, Henley's getting a lot of love in the betting
market. That is crazy.
That's a lot of love. So if you're a Homo truther like me, maybe. But I did talk up Henley. I liked both. So I think they're both going to be in play for me this week for DFS. I think that's a very, very good indication that betting markets like Henley, but then also that Homo could be in play.
Fleetwood over Burns is intriguing as well. I think
What's going on, Diggs? Appreciate you tuning in, buddy. Who are you on this week? Who do you like? Like to hear from you guys. Who else is there? We got
Xander over Morikawa. I don't know.
What do you think of Horschel over Lowry?
I don't mind that. I don't know if I trust. Like Horschel does play weird. I don't know if I can trust him enough. I usually don't bet him, but he might be the most inconsistent player of all time.
That's one person I did not talk about is Alex Noren.
Yep, took him. He was, God forbid, 8 top 20s in a row. I'm on him last week.
And I was off him last week because it was just one of those things where I was like, you know what? It's just one of those weeks that he's just gonna go shit down his leg, and he sure as hell did. So that's the one time I was like, thank God I faded him. A miscut and a 52nd here, but he wasn't in as good of form as he is now, in my opinion. So,
Right.
what do you think? A bounce back for Noren this week?
Yeah, unbiased. I'm not gonna have any hatred toward him for missing it last week. So yeah, I think he could definitely bounce back.
I think that was the dreaded curse of everybody being on him once again.
Yeah, I should have known. Yep.
Yeah. It was just like too good of a run, and it was just like something has to give.
I don't hate JT over Hovland at plus money either. That's just based on plus money
minus
value.
140. You shitting me? That's crazy.
Yeah. So I
That's
guess
actually,
I understand, but
I like that. I'm good with that because I mean, if I'm not playing Hovland or Hovland in DFS, I think that's a really, really double down take right there with JT getting some love. It's not bad. Not bad there. Nothing else that sticks out to me that's like a no-brainer. But that I think my favorite one would be Connors over Clark. So
yeah,
minus 130, a little bit more juice than you got. Let me just check before we get up on out of here. The end of round one leaders. So Morikawa 28-1.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Usually around there. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not bad to take him around. Like I had him 2 weeks ago at Charles Schwab. He was like 2 under. He just was missing putts. Like if he just makes his putts, I mean, he's going to easily get first round leader. So that's kind of how it usually goes for him. Yeah, I like Morikawa there. Who else? I mean, maybe Sneaky Zalatoris. I don't know about that, but
45-1.
Would have to check some morning rounds too. I kind of like taking the morning guys, so I didn't get to see the tee times yet, but
yeah. Well, that's a pretty good indication of what we're liking this week. So if you guys have any additional questions, make sure to hit us up in the Discord below. If you want all premium picks from both of us, check out our bios below, and we have our links to join the Discords. And we'll be here all the way up until tee times Thursday morning. So make sure you guys follow us on Twitter or X or whatever the hell they're calling it now. And then if you do have any questions after the fact, you guys are watching the replay, make sure to comment. I can also check any additional questions that you guys might have. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back next week. We got the U.S. Open. We'll be here on Tuesday evening once again. So
that's going to be a good one.
What you got? Any final thoughts?
Hopefully, we need to get back on a good profit week this week going to the U.S. Open. That's going to be a fun one at Pinehurst. Hopefully, I mean it's got to play hard. Pinehurst #2's a tough course. They should have that ready to go, fast and firm conditions. But yeah, hopefully, kind of this week too, we see kind of a tougher Memorial course. I kind of want them to struggle, in that 8 to 10 range. Hopefully, it'll be a good finish for us and we get one of us get an outright. So,
right. Yep. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll have all of our official cards out on Wednesday evening, tomorrow evening. If you have any questions between now and then, hit us up. We appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week. We'll see you guys next week.